Hello, this is Tevin with another episode of my Randomness. And I got a special guest right here. This is my friend Taylor. Anyway, today's topic stories will be most painful in the past time. Let's start with me. No, Taylor.
Me? Okay, I remember. I was probably 9, 10 years old, and I was up in Gloucester County. Me and my mom's side of the family, we're all at my uncle's trailer thing, just to hang out with him for a while. Well, he likes to drink, obviously, and he drank. Yeah, right. He drank a lot that night. And he thought it would be a great idea to do this certain thing that he did as a kid. What they would do is they would get this long plank, and in the middle there would be like a stump or something. One kid would be at the end, and somebody would jump on the other side. Apparently what would happen was when you jump on that side, you're supposed to jump really high in the air up like that. And he asked if I wanted to do it. Well, let me rephrase that. He asked my cousin if he wanted to do it, and he was just like, not really. And then he looked at me, and I was just like, sure, why not? Not thinking what could possibly go wrong with that story. But, so I'm getting at the end. Again, I'm 12. Well, I'm sorry. I'm 10. My uncle, who was probably 34 at the time, 200 and something pounds, maybe? So this is already not going to go well, I could tell. So, his drunk ass, he gets on top of these stacks of woods, then he jumps, and lands on it perfectly. However, I did not go up. Instead of going up, I went backwards like this. And in midair, I was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. And then I fell. I don't know how. I probably hit a rock, and I ended up fracturing my fucking wrist. And I was just like, ah, fuck! And I was fucking bawling my eyes out, and it hurt like a bitch. And that's about the most painful thing I've had done to me that I recall. Tevin?
Alright, well, let me start out with this. Said day I started watching Power Rangers. I thought I could be a Power Ranger that day.
Didn't we all, though?
Yeah, but, this was back when I used to live, on a place called Ingalls Road in, Fort Monroe, and that place, oh, so many memories. But besides that, I was watching Power Rangers that day, well, morning, and my parents were gone. Leaving me and my brother alone was the worst mistake you could ever do. Anyway, yeah, well, yeah, I was watching Power Rangers. I was running to the house afterwards because I was like role playing in a sense. Yeah, like
Playing pretend.
yeah. I pretended this glass door. Big mistake. This glass door was a one of those monsters that you would see on those terribly graphic monsters, but they were so funny to watch be exploded. And then when you're in the Power Rangers, it's like. When you actually morph, it's like, yeah, and all of a sudden, explosion out of nowhere. It's like, what the fuck? Anyway, well, yeah. So I started punching the wooden sides of the door. It's not a completely glass door. It was kind of blocked per se, and I started with the wood, punching it, blah 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 blah, take out sword, blah, and then. I was like, time to kick it.
Oh, God.
So I turned around and I mule kicked it. I wasn't watching where I was going. And I mule kicked a glass, one of the small glass windows there.
Oof.
And I had a shirt about that far in my foot. It was showing on the other side of my foot. On this foot, actually.
Oh,
and,
nice. Oh, my God.
The funniest part was, I was running through my house screaming while bleeding on the floor. I was asking for my mom, and I remembered, fuck, my mom's not home. So I ended up taking the big part out. There was more than just that big part of shard of glass in my foot. I still have some remnants of the small pieces and whatnot, but that's normal. So this was back when I had a bunk bed, and I slept on the top bunk. And I climbed up the top bunk, wrapped my foot up, and there was blood on the wood because it was just stained wood. That's all. So it wasn't coated with anything but stained paint. To that day, that wood probably still has blood on it.
Memories.
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 You should ask me like memories.
Oh dear God.
Anyway, yeah, that is those are painful stories. Another,
I can tell you the most uncomfortable one I had.
oh, uncomfortable. Let's go.
Yeah, this was back in my Gildersleeve days. Gildersleeve. It was probably 6th grade. I think I had an ear infection at the time, and I was taking these giant ass horse pills, which I don't understand why they're so damn big for retards. I mean, for an ear infection. But I had to take them. And there was this one day, and I swallowed one, and I felt this weird sensation on my throat after I did it, like something was stuck there, and it was there for the longest time. So I'm like, fuck, Dad, I think my. So I went to my dad. I was like, Dad, I think the pill got stuck in my throat. He's like, well, shit. Well, I mean, well, why don't you drink a bunch of water or whatever and see if it'll go away? I drank 2 gallons of water that day. It still didn't went away. I even tried throwing it back up. The feeling was still there. So me and my dad looked at each other and we were just like, well, I guess we go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital. I get checked in. I'm in a hospital bed, and they put me in a gown for this. I don't know why, but we were.
They wanted to see your butt cheeks.
Oh yes, my glorious baby smooth butt cheeks. Anyway,
With hair.
with hair, damn straight. But I was there for like 3 hours, 4 hours waiting for this. In total, they didn't show up till probably like 9 or 10, and this was when I had to take it out so well the next day. But they didn't show up till then. So what they decided to do was they decided to take this. It's a weird like medicine thing that's supposed to taste like banana, but it actually tastes like medicine-sized shit. And they put it in my throat, and it numbed my throat, and it felt so weird. It was like I felt my throat actually being like swollen. That's how weird it was. And and so I was like, so this was going on. Then I found out that they needed to look down my throat, and I don't know how. How they had to look down my throat was this tiny camera thing on the end of a little handheld machine. They had to press into my throat and down into it to look through my stomach. Yeah. I wasn't making that noise, but I was sitting there like, I can feel everything!
Anyway.
Actually, it wasn't even through my mouth. It was through my nose. They put that shit up my nose and my throat. They had to go through this nostril to go down into my throat to look in there. Turns out, after all of that shit, there was nothing fucking there. And after like 4 hours of waiting, they decided to give me a fucking like platinum movie ticket, which basically means I can watch a movie at AMC for fucking free. And I'm like, yes, that makes up for 4 hours of my time wasted. But that was my uncomfortable story.
My uncomfortable story involves a doctor with it's ring finger missing.
Oh god.
So, as many of you may or may not know, I have one testicle.
This is true.
But that's besides the point. This was for a physical, and we went on base. On base, cool place. Sometimes, every once in a while, and some. Oh,
Ghetto?
No, no, not that. The ladies. Anyway,
True facts. True facts.
We went on base for my physicals. So, go through these various doctors, and then my final part was the, guys, that tickle and cough thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's awkward.
The doctor with his ring finger missing. I felt that stub. For a minute there, I'm contemplating, why would they let him be a doctor? I mean, I understand he probably just gone through the pain and suffering of college, which we're gonna go through soon. And yeah,
I just imagine that being like a tiny sausage poking at you or something.
it was awkward.
Like a hard, pointy sausage.
It was alright. It was basically this eraser.
Oh, that's so weird.
This eraser kind of thing.
I don't even want to know.
Poking at
That's so weird.
at the shaft. It's like, no cough. What? No. Yeah, that's the end of that story. Cause anyway,
weird. So weird. Oh god.
Alright, before I start having scarring memories, I'm gonna conclude this episode today. Please feel free to subscribe to this page or my page that I will be leaving on the little bar down here. And yeah, feel free to follow that too. I'll be posting these videos on that page as well. So you can, if you don't feel like keeping updated with YouTube, you can go onto Facebook. Thank you, and thank you, Taylor.
My pleasure.
Oh, by the way, since I've said Joe's and Justin's middle name as well.
Oh, wow.
This is Taylor Jacob Livingston?
What's up, yo?
Yeah. Anyway, that concludes our episode today. Thank you. Have a nice day, and please subscribe.
Yeah, yeah.